resulted in finding answers and solutions which can help those who are concerned with the topics and the questions and problems. And this webinar series is going on smoothly without any interruption because of the incessant attempts of the chief organizer and chairperson of this webinar series, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Bedkar sir. At the outset of this webinar, I welcome him as the chairperson of this webinar. I am also very pleased to welcome today's honorable dignitary, keynote speaker and resource person, Divya Kumar ma'am from DPSS, Delhi. She is going to elaborate the topic, Adapt to Change. On behalf of the organizing committee of the webinar series and Shri Kumarswami College, Ausa, I welcome her heartily as an invited speaker. I also welcome all honorable organizing committee members, Vice Principal SD Misal sir, Ravindra Karanje sir, Praveen Uttage sir, IQAC coordinator of our college, Dr. Sanjay Kale sir, Dr. Anita Dhole ma'am, Dr. Patwari sir, Sudhir Garad sir, Ambadas Khillare sir, and Wadkar sir. Very soon, the speech will be started and we will be enlightened. But before that, we will have introduction of today's honorable speaker, and for that, I would like to invite Dr. Anita Dhole ma'am to introduce today's speaker. Please ma'am, welcome.
Thank you sir. Good evening one and all. You are welcome to this grand national and international webinar series organized by Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya, Ausa. This series is going on successfully because of the efficient personality, respected Principal Dr. Bedkar MM. So firstly, I would like to thank respected Principal and Chief Organizer Dr. Bedkar MM for giving me an opportunity to introduce resource person on this virtual platform. My special thanks goes to all the respected organizing committee members, IQAC coordinator and staff members who those are supporting like backbone of this series, and a big thanks to all the respected participants who are joining very regularly from all over India and abroad also, and they are making this series very successful series. So it's my pleasure. I am here to introduce today's resource person. Today's resource person is Honorable Divya Kumar, DPSS, Delhi. Title of speech is Adopt to Change. Divya ma'am is working in education industry from 25 years. She is a talented and gifted teacher living in Delhi, contributed the significant change and improvement in student outcomes. Her credentials include MSc Chemistry, MSc in English Literature and MAd in Education. Her textbooks, that is Millennium Science, published by Millennium Books Source Private Limited, are being used in various schools. She has been working in collaboration with Pearson India Education Services Private Limited, Cambridge University Press India Private Limited. She is working with an NGO, Beti Foundation, as a managing director supervising the teaching and underprivileged kids, working with kids of learning disabilities She has helped many mentally, emotionally, and academically among wide range of interests. One is blog writing. A dedicated, creative, outgoing, and a self-motivated person, team leader coupled with excellent communication skills with a passion to upgrade consistently as per the requirements of the circumstances and situation. So she strengthens team's success by adopting and analyzing the performance of each and every individual. So after this introduction, I would like to request today's keynote speaker, Honorable Divya ma'am, please start your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That was wonderful. So now I would like to turn on my camera too. I want all of you to see me. The very first thing is to adapt to change is that we all are sitting in all over the world and we are connected through one device. Isn't it amazing that we are adapted to this situation too? Had I been called to some place and had I had to go traveling 2 hours and 3 hours going there and attending the seminar and speaking over it, it would have been very tedious for me. Sitting comfortably at home, I am conducting the seminar. I have conducted many seminars. So good evening to all of you. Can you all wear a smile, Sir Dr. Bedkar and Prashant, Vilas, whosoever has turned on the camera? I would like to see a smile on your face. Can you all smile?
Yes.
All right. So now I would like to present a very small a PPT which I had prepared. I think have you given me sharing rights, sir?
Yes, ma'am, you can share. There is no restriction on sharing to anyone.
I cannot share.
You just click on fourth icon arrow.
I'm doing that.
Yes, and you select that square.
Yes, I can now.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. It's visible. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Adapting to change. Since 2019 December, we have been in a very, very difficult phase.
Excuse me, madam. Just click on hide because the lines are hidden one. Yes. Okay. Now continue, please.
Fine.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you for teaching me because we have been taking classes on Zoom and this Microsoft Teams and all. So I'm new to this Google Meet. But since this is also adapting to change, I told my daughter to teach me how to use this. So yesterday I sat with her and I told her how to start this, how to share. Then she said that the other person is going to tell you there's one arrow and this and that. So this is also another part of a thing which is adapting to change. So coming over to the topic, I won't take much time of you. Introducing the topic with COVID-19. I know it was very dreaded disease, and a spokesperson asked to WHO head that how are we going to cope up to this virus. Now the reply of the head was that we cannot stop the variants now. We cannot stop the virus now. We have to live with that. So how are we going to live with that unless we don't adapt to change, to accept it? Now what are we going to do? First and foremost thing, we have to take care of ourselves. In case we get a lockdown, in case we are confined to our rooms, do I have enough to serve me for another year, say 2-3 months, say 4-5 months? So in that case, I have to keep my financial thing aside. Second thing, I have to take care of my health. So what should I do to take care of my health? I have to build immunity, strong immunity, so that I can go further. So let's come to the slide. Change is constant. As you can see that what remains with us, it is change. So some changes, it require broad level thinking about how we and our organization may need to adapt or change to serve the core purpose. Core purpose is to succeed in life. Next, there are two types of change. One is self-imposed. You see something within yourself and your environment and you think that yes, I should change now. I must change now. Second is imposed change. Imposed change, it is from outside. Because of virus, we all were confined in our rooms. There was work from home. We have worked from home for 1.5 years. Now we have started opening up. So we have adapted to the situation, wearing masks, keeping our this rooms very well ventilated and interacting less to the people, reducing our social life, yes, increasing our virtual life and talking to people through screens. So let's come to the slide. Characteristics of change. Self-imposed change. First thing, can be something as simple as changing your outfit, yes, color of your walls, yes, or as complex as your job. Very difficult to say now because jobs are hardly available, but I can say that it is available everywhere, but we have to change our perspective. Then next, relatively easy to adapt to because you establish the parameters of the change. You are the in charge. I am the in charge. Next and last, usually accompanied by a sense of excitement and expectation. Suppose I had to attend a meeting. I'm going to search this sari I'm going to wear, this jewelry will match, and this thing I'm going to wear as a footwear, and this is how am I going to start. So I changed my thinking. I adapted for what is going to come tomorrow. Let's come to the next slide. Another characteristic of change, imposed change. Very complex, very difficult. What we think, the moment we were told that it's a deadly virus, first thing which came to my mind is negative. What is going to happen to my children? What is going to happen to my job? How am I going to earn my living? How will I do this? How will I do that? What would happen to my parents? What would happen to my mother-in-law? My husband goes in and out of the house. How much am I going to take care of my children? He keeps on bringing the things. Yes, I adapted to the environment. I did everything to keep my family safe. So typically much more complex than self-imposed change. Can be difficult to adapt to. Yes, it was difficult, but we did. We believe in Darwin's theory of survival of the fittest. We are fit, we will survive. So usually because the individual is not in control of parameters of the change, the difficulty increases as the information flow decreases. Last, it can be difficult to not take it personally. Everyone is dealing with that. Why can't I? I can also deal with that. So it is usually accompanied by a sense of dread and a fear of the unknown. As your Omicron just now, and there was Delta variant. I shouldn't speak that, but yes, we have to live with that. As WHO, this head has said, we have to live with that. We cannot get away with that. Now, significant emotional event, SEE, it requires you to adapt to a new situation which can affect you physically and emotionally. Now, there are two types of SEE. One, personal, you can deal with it. Yes. Suppose someone is yelling and shouting at you, you don't feel it right, you can give it back. Second thing, suppose you think that yes, even if she is yelling and he is not in a good shape, I should keep my this veto with me. I should not say anything. That is your personal choice. Now let's come to professional. Very difficult. Our salaries were cut down. We weren't given the salaries for a few months. And it was very difficult for us to find resources to keep in connection with the children, those who are not in the classroom. But yes, we adapted, we learned, we have dealt with different bosses. As I have been into this industry for 25 years, I have dealt with so many bosses with different temper, with you can say innovative. Some were very, very innovative, some were very, very considerate. But yes, some were, I shouldn't say that. Anyways, that's actually a part and parcel of life. Now, what are the stages of significant emotional event? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, madam, sure.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. So, very first thing, shock or denial. It happens when you don't ever expect that this could have happened in my life. Suppose in my institution, few teachers were removed within a month. There was a mail that you are no more required by our organization. So this was shock. And the teachers, since they have served the institution for more than 15, 16 years, they were not ready to take it. So there was a mood of denial. I can't believe it. Second, a flood of emotion, typically anger. Many times it happens with us. We all have children. Yes, when they don't listen to you, even after telling them that I want you to do this, I don't find this as a right thing, still they do it. What do? You just burst at your child and say that I told you not to do this. Next, bargaining. All of us do that. Yes, I should not explain this. All of us bargain. Yes, bargaining, it changes from person to person, place to place. And the other person on the other side you're dealing with, it changes. For example, you are going to the doctor, you won't bargain. You are going to a vegetable vendor, you do bargain. Right? Next, let's come to the next one, depression. Most talked about, we all talk about stress, depress, and this and that. So, what happens? It's mistake when a person goes into a grief, that is taken as a depression. But last one is acceptance. Best thing. Accept reality.
सर माझा आवाज येत नाही का मॅडमचा येत नाही का रेंज नाही
सर तुमचा येतोय मॅडमचा येत नाही.
बरं ओके
प्रॉब्लेम आहे सर. ऑटोमॅटिक डिस्मिस हे बोलायला सर.
बरं जमेल तसं ऐकू. मी फोन लावतो त्यांना. बहुतेक रिजॉईन होतील बहुतेक तिकडे रेंज गेली आहे सर.
participants are requested to wait, please. Ma'am will start soon her lecture.
Wearing very heavy woolens. Yes, so every day comes, approaches with the night, night approaches with the day. This is what is this? The change. And change produces fear. Of what? Fear of what? Then what should we do? Let's be positive. How you approach the change will determine how well you are adapt to the change. So as a managers, remember that associates are looking to you when you are reacting. Managers at home, managers in school, we all are managing our lives. My mom is a manager, my father is a manager, my daughter is a manager. She is also managing, she's looking up to me. How am I reacting to the situation, to the circumstances? So then last one, QTIP, quite taking it personally. You are not the only one who is going through this. Whole world is dealing with this. So let's be the example. Let's set an example. Now, there's one, a very small video. Just let me know whether audio is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Once long ago, in a land far away, there lived four little characters who ran through a maze looking for cheese to nourish them and make them happy.
Two were mice named Snip and Scurry.
And two were little people named Ham and Haw.
As different as the mice and little people were, they shared one thing in common.
Every morning, they left their homes and raced out into the maze to find their favorite cheese.
Snip and Scurry had simple brains, but good instincts. They used a simple method of trial and error.
Snip would smell out the general direction of the cheese.
And Scurry
Not
would
visible, ma'am.
They often went off in the wrong direction and bumped into walls.
But Ham and Haw had complex brains with beliefs and emotions that made their life in the maze more complicated and challenging.
Finding cheese was important to the little people.
It was a way of getting what they thought they needed to be happy. For some, it was having material things. For others, it was health or peace of mind.
For Haw, cheese meant living in a cozy cottage with a loving family on Cheddar Lane.
To him, cheese meant being a big cheese in a mansion atop Camembert Hill.
Eventually, they all discovered their own kind of cheese in cheese stations.
Through the maze, Cheese Station C. Snip and Scurry hung their running shoes around their necks in case they needed to get to them quickly.
But Ham and Haw awoke each day a little later and sauntered over to Cheese Station C.
After all, they knew where the cheese was and how to get there, and they assumed it would always be there.
Ham and Haw put their running shoes away. They thought they wouldn't be needing them again. This is great! There's enough cheese here, it'll last us forever! Sure is!
They felt secure. They even decorated the walls with sayings.
Ham and Haw became so comfortable they didn't notice what had been happening.
Meanwhile, Snip and Scurry inspected the area each morning to see if there had been any changes from the day before.
One morning, they arrived at Cheese Station C and discovered there was no cheese.
They weren't surprised, since they'd noticed the supply of cheese had been getting smaller.
The mice did not overanalyze things. The situation had changed, so Snip and Scurry changed.
They were soon off in search of new cheese.
Later that day, Ham and Haw arrived at Cheese Station C.
They had not been paying attention to the changes that had been taking place.
What? No cheese? No cheese? Who moved my cheese? It's not fair!
Ham, I know we're smarter than mice, but we're not acting like it at the moment. What'll happen if the cheese I've made plans based on this cheese.
While Snip and Scurry had moved on, Ham and Haw continued to ham and haw.
One night, Ha wrote on the wall.
The more important cheese is to you, the more you want to hold on to it.
The next day, Ham and Haw still somehow expected to find their cheese in the same place.
Why did they do this to me?
Now, where are Snip and Scurry? Do you think they know something we don't?
Nah, they're just simple mice. We're little people. We're entitled to our cheese.
Yeah, but maybe we should just simply get going and find some new cheese.
Oh, no. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I want things to be the way they were.
Meanwhile, Snip and Scurry moved further into the maze. They didn't think of anything else but finding new cheese.
After much trial and error, Snip and Scurry found the biggest store of cheese they had ever seen at Cheese Station N.
Meanwhile, Hem and Haw were still hemming and hawing at empty Cheese Station C.
Then Haw began to imagine himself out in the maze, finding fresh new cheese.
Before long, he could almost taste it.
Come on, Ham. Let's go.
No, I like it here. It's comfortable. Besides, it's real dangerous out there.
Haw imagined the worst. His hope of finding new cheese faded.
So every day, Ham and Haw went from their homes to Cheeseless Station C.
And returned home again with empty bellies, full of nothing but stress.
Move my cheese. Move my cheese. Move my cheese.
Ham, look at us. We keep doing the same things over and over and wonder why things don't get better. It's tough.
Why don't we wait here until they put the cheese back?
You just don't get it. They're never going to put the old cheese back. That was yesterday's cheese. It's time to find new cheese.
Oh, but what if there's no cheese out there? Or what if you can't find it?
Ham, life moves on, and so should we.
No. Who moved my cheese? Who moved my cheese? Who moved my
If
cheese?
we don't change, we could become extinct.
Like him, a part of Haw was afraid. Then Haw wrote on the wall what he had been thinking about.
What would you do if you weren't afraid?
It wasn't long before Haw knew what to do. Haw gathered all his courage and jogged into the unknown.
It's maze time!
At first, he felt lost. But it wasn't long before he began to find his way.
Being back in the maze isn't nearly as bad as I feared. How did I get into this situation? I've been watching what was happening.
Haw stopped to write on the maze wall what he was learning.
Smell the cheese often so you know when it's getting old.
Haw hoped that these handwritings on the wall would not only be reminders to himself, but also a marked trail for him to follow if he chose to enter the maze.
Why do I feel so good? I don't have any cheese and I don't know where it is. Aha! When you move beyond your fear, you feel free.
The more clearly Haw imagined himself finding new cheese, the more real it became.
Imagining myself enjoying new cheese even before I find it leads me to it.
Finally, Haw arrived at a large cheese station.
But it was practically empty.
I'm too late. If I'd moved on sooner, I might have found a lot of new cheese here.
Haw did find several delicious morsels of new cheese.
It wasn't much, but enough to keep him going.
I've got to get back and tell Hem there's some new cheese out here.
Haw raced back to Cheese Station C, following the route he had marked.
He found his friend still hemming and hawing. Hem had not even put on his running shoes.
Oh, Hem, you look hungry. Here, have a few bits of new cheese.
I don't think I would like new cheese. I want my own cheese back. I'm sure if I wait here long enough, things will be the way they were.
Will Hem ever change?
Hem was left behind, hemmed in by fear, comfort, and denial.
I guess Hem believes he can't or won't enjoy new cheese. He's others into the maze, things will get worse. I see now that if I do things differently, things will get better. When you change what you believe, you change what you do.
Ha found bits of cheese here and there and began to regain his strength. He had hoped that Ham might find his way by reading the handwriting on the wall.
Ha had let go of the past and was adapting to the present. He was pursuing new cheese.
And then it happened.
Piled high everywhere was the greatest supply of cheese he had ever seen.
Wow! New cheese! Is it real or just my imagination? It is real!
Ha realized that Sniff and Scurry had been enjoying new cheese for quite a while. He vowed that next time he would change faster.
Ha knew it would be easy for him to slip back to his old ways if he got too comfortable.
So each day he inspected Cheese Station N to check the condition of his cheese.
He went out into the maze and explored new areas.
He knew it was safer to be aware of his real choices than to isolate himself in his comfort zone. Then one day, Ha heard what he thought was the sound of movement out in the maze.
Could it be Ham? Was Ham about to turn the corner?
Ha hoped that maybe at last his friend was finally able to
Move to the new cheese and enjoy it.
So I hope you all have enjoyed this and understood it too. Right?
Yes.
So let's move to the next now. Next slide. All right. So what are the ways to protect yourself? One, recognize that what you are feeling is normal. Resisting will only make it worse. Second, find some place to vent your anger. Next, managers must increase information flow. If you're not getting enough information, ask for it. Then next, keep in mind that during times of change, all perceptions are distorted and they are usually negative. Keep as much familiarity as possible during times of change. Work on maintaining or creating a support system. Very important. Take care of yourself physically. Avoid escaping with excessive alcohol consumption, drugs, overeating, gambling, etc. Then relax. You have been through things like this before and survived. You will survive this change too. Think, where am I going to end up? Now this very simple story of a shoe salesman. Once upon a time, a shoe company had sent two salesmen to Africa to determine the market potential for their products, shoe. So one salesman, he went to the east coast of Africa while the other was sent to west coast of Africa. Both completed their survey, target market and called back to the office. First salesman, east coast one, reported, no one wears any shoes over here, so there is no market. Other said that since no one wears shoes over here, so there is a huge market for all of us. So send all the inventory fast. So what is the point? The point of the story is that your perspective influences your behavior. Meaning, if you feel you cannot change a situation, you act one way. On the other hand, if you see the world as a place full of opportunities, you act differently. Now, I'm going to end up with this video. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm just going to end with this video, please.
Video not visible to me.
Parent life. A parent talks way too much, but can't fly high. But an eagle is silent and has the willpower to touch the sky. Here's the 7 mentalities that we can learn from an eagle. Number 1, eagles fly alone at high altitude. Eagles don't fly with sparrows, ravens, and other small birds, meaning stay away from narrow-minded people, those that bring you down. Eagles fly with eagles. There's a saying that goes like this: people you hang around will eventually determine the person you become. Keep good company. Number 2, eagles have vision. They have the ability to focus on something as far as 5 kilometers away. No matter what the obstacles, the eagle will not move his focus from the prey until he grabs it. Meaning, have a vision and remain focused in your life. No matter what the obstacles and challenges you may face, don't give up and you will succeed. Number 3, eagles are fearless. An eagle will never surrender to the size or strength of its prey. It will always give a fight to win its prey or regain its territory, meaning no matter what the size or big your problems are, don't give up. Instead, face it. Successful people are fearless. They face problems head on. Number 4, eagles are tenacious. Eagles love storm. When clouds gather, the eagles get excited. The eagles use the storm wind to lift themselves higher. Once it finds the wind of the storm, the eagles use the raging storm to lift itself above the clouds. This gives the eagle the opportunity to glide and rest its wings. In the meantime, all the other birds hide in the branches and leaves of the tree, meaning achievers are not afraid of challenges. Rather, they relish in them and use them for profitability. Number 5, eagles never eat dead things. Eagles never eat dead meat. In other words, an eagle does not scavenge. It only eats the meat from the prey it kills itself. Meaning, do not rely on your past success. Keep looking for new frontiers to conquer. Leave your past where it belongs, in the past. Number 6, eagles prepare for training. They remove the feather in the soft grass in the nest so that the young ones get uncomfortable in preparation for flying. And eventually, they fly when it becomes too unbearable to stay in the nest. Meaning, leave your comfort zone. There is no growth there. Last but not least, number 7, eagles possess vitality. When the eagle grows old, his feathers become weak and cannot take him as fast and as high as it should. This makes him weak and could make him die, so he retires to a place far away in the mountains. And while there, he plucks out the weak feathers in his body and breaks his beak and his claws against the rocks until he is completely bare. A very bloody and painful process. Then he stays in his hiding place until he has grown new feathers, new beaks and claws, and then comes out flying higher than ever before. Meaning, we occasionally need to shed off old habits, no matter how difficult. Things that burden us or add no value to our lives should be let go of. Thanks for watching this video. Share and subscribe for more amazing inspiration.
Thank you very much. I hope I am audible to you all. So there are few questions which I would like you all to see. change as positive. See the change as an opportunity. Adapt plans as necessary. Quickly master new technology, vocabulary, and operating rules as we have done, and lead the change by example. Take into account other people's concern. Sort out your strengths and weaknesses fairly, accurately, and work on your weaknesses. Then admit personal mistakes, learn from them, and move on. And always be optimistic. So these are the questions. How are you going to respond to the adapt to the change? Thank you very much. Over to Dr.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your impressive speech on the topic. The speech was supported with audio examples, a story, and many examples were also given. So we all understood that change is necessary. Change is the law of nature, survival of the fittest, and we should be positive and ready for anything. This was the message through your speech.
Yes, exactly.
Now, after this wonderful speech, it is time for discussion. So I request participants, if they have any question or doubt, please put it before ma'am for answers and explanations. Please.
I don't think there would be any questions. All the questions were answered in the presentation. Yes?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
We all are adapting to adapt. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. The speech was very elaborative, and so we all understood it very well.
Thank you.
So after this keynote speech, I would like to invite Chief Organizer and Chairperson of this webinar series to deliver his concluding words. Please, sir, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you to all, and thank you to Professor Karad sir anchoring today's and every day. Today's resource person Divya Kumar madam, and all organizing committee members including Vice Principal SD Misal sir, Dr. Dayanand Patwari sir, Prashant Ugade sir, IQC coordinator Sanjay Kale sir, junior college supervisors Praveen Udge sir, Karanje sir, Dhole madam, librarian Killare sir, Professor K.N. Kadam sir, and all participants, those who are joined here from out of college. It was a nice experience to listen, to watch, and to read something today. So topic was very related to us, and what the explanation given by our today's resource person Divya madam was very appropriate, because we have to adopt all the changes, we have to take care of that, and we be the able to adopt the changes so that we can't survive, and we have to become success through all circumstances that we feel. So everyone needs this encouragement, and madam when decided to speak on this topic, it was new for us but basic for us and useful for us. So with every dimensions we have covered this topic. In future also, if you have any such new topics with you, we again invite you. Thank you madam for today's very nice speech and best speech. Thank you madam.
Thank you, sir.
Please
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving me opportunity to speak. Thank you. Thank you, Prashant sir. Thank you very much.
Just wait for vote of thanks, please.
Thank you, sir, for your concluding words and for your comments on the keynote speech. And it will not be exaggeration if I say that we all learn and how to adapt to new situation, and how to convert a problem into an opportunity, and how we should reap even on problems. This we have learned from you. So on behalf of the organizing committee of webinar series and the college, I sincerely thank you. I also thank Honorable Divya ma'am, who has taken very nice topic, because it is very essential in the situation when circumstances are not good. And she has given the message that we should not become the slave of circumstances, but we should master the circumstances, and we should have the ability, but we should search it in us, and we should change the circumstances if we think anything is possible, and we should have the positive attitude. Very good message you have given, ma'am. You have inspired us. So on behalf of the organizing committee of the college and webinar series, I thank you from the bottom of the heart. I also thank all the participants, because these are the soul of the webinar series, and these are very actively taking part, and so the webinar series is becoming meaningful and successful. So thank you, participants. I also thank all organizing committee members for their continued efforts to run this webinar series. I thank Dr. Anita Dhole ma'am, who has given very good introduction of today's chief guest and keynote speaker. Now I request all the participants to fill feedback form so that they can have their certificates. And on behalf of the chief organizer and chairperson of this webinar series, I would like to request today's honorable keynote speaker that sir might have told you that you have to send a summary of your keynote speech so that it can be helpful for us to publish in the ISBN book, and also it will be helpful for those who will read it, and it will be preserved as the knowledge of life. So thank you all, and on behalf of chief organizer and chairperson of this webinar series, I declare here that today's webinar is over. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. As per Professor Karar said, just a 2-page summary of your speech, and just you have to send today, so that it will be published on 8th March, International Women's Day, so that we can include it.
Okay, sir.
Thank you to all, and we keep this webinar for 5 to 10 minutes open to fill up the feed, so you can leave and take rest.
Okay, sir.
Thanks a lot, madam, for wonderful explanations.
Thank you, Prashant. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you, Political Science, Rajesh sir, Anita, Purva, Professor Dhanraj, C. Kushwaha, Asha, and so many, Deepa, Ambadas. Thank you very much for joining today's webinar. Thank you.